Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Looking Through a Big Box of Polaroids. Hi there, if you're new to this then go check out the first episode where we were looking through this box of Polaroids that I have here. These Polaroids that I've shot over the last 2 years. The idea of this series is basically just to look through this box, have a look at some of the photographs and bring back some memories and maybe discuss what I photographed there. So this is completely random. This box I'm just going to grab 5 out of there and then we're going to just have a chat about them. So, first one we're going to go for this time is one right here. What have we got? We have this. So like before, we're going to take a look at what the photograph looks like now compared to what it looked like back in the day when I first scanned it. You can see there's quite a bit of difference there. These have faded quite dramatically over the years from the looks of it. So this is a photograph of some graffiti that's near the train station that I used to go to work from every single morning and obviously come back to every single evening as well. Yeah, so this is just some graffiti. You can see the difference in the colours between the older version and the newer version. This graffiti is actually still there as well. I walked past this a week or so ago and it is still there, so I have no idea how long it's been there before I took this photograph, but that's at least 2 years, probably an awful lot longer. Second one, let's go for one on the other side and we'll go for this one here. Apologies, but the way I've scanned these in is not fantastic. They're all at a bit of an angle, so yeah, sorry about that. As you can see, again, this is what it looks like now compared to what it looked like when I first scanned it in. Very, very dark, actually, when I first scanned it in. It seems to have brightened up quite a little bit. This is probably one of the ones which has improved slightly over age. Lots and lots of marks on the front of that. That's either because the rollers on my Polaroid are a bit dirty and not quite spreading the chemicals out properly, or there's something up with the lens and there's just weird light reflections coming into it. But yeah, this is a photograph of the pier down in Penarth. This is kind of a favourite place for me to go and take photographs because, well, to be perfectly honest, it's a nice empty long shoreline with a pier jutting out into the sea. Looks quite nice when there's a lot of light, looks quite nice when the tide is out and you can get right out past the pier, basically stand where you would have been completely submerged in water a few hours before and get some nice shots on the reflections of the beach and the wet sand. Obviously that isn't what we've got here. This is the pier itself stood on there, central lines leading down with all that. So, number 3, we'll go for one of these. Oh god, that looks awful. Oh, this is one that hasn't gotten better with age, and I don't think it was very good to begin with either. This particular batch, if I remember rightly, did some weird stuff with the film. This was shot on some older Impossible Project stuff rather than the newer Polaroid type stuff, so it was probably a little bit out of date when I shot it already, but I mean, this is what it looked like when I shot it, and that isn't very good anyway, is it? It's really, really odd colours, like it's really, really blown out and it's a really, really bright day. It was not a really, really bright day, but this is what it looks like now. As you can see, that sky's gone really oddly kind of blue, a bit of greenish, yellowish tinge towards the top of the frame. This is a train station. I have an obsession with train stations. This is a train station that I now catch the train to go to work at, as opposed to the last one where I used to catch it from. This photograph is probably taken around about the same time actually as a photograph on a video that me and Will Cobb discussed a picture of, well, we had a chat and we showed some pictures of mine on. Yeah, well, if you're watching this Polaroid was taken around about the same time as I took that shot on some Kodak Ektar as well. Number 4, we'll go for one from the back up here, and we've pulled out that one there. This, I believe, is Rest Bay near Porthcawl here in South Wales. It's about a 45-minute drive from my house. It is one of the two places I go for sunset photography, mainly because it is facing westwards, as opposed to the beaches near me which face eastwards, so are better for sunrise, and I am not an early riser, so I will wait until the end of the day and drive for nearly an hour to photograph instead. But yeah, this is Rest Bay. This one has sort of held up a bit better than some of the other ones. It's a shame again about those horrible lines right down the middle of the image. But yeah, it's a shot taken at sunset with some nice golden colours showing on the sand. You can even see the actual waves themselves going through the sea, which is nice considering the shoot's a plastic lens. Yeah, I quite like this one still. And then the final one for today's episode will be from here, and we've got that. Final image is another sunset image. I know I said that I will drive quite far away to get the sunset. You can get the sunset in Cardiff facing over water, but you have to go out onto the barrage that makes Cardiff Bay itself. This is one of those photographs. So I've gone out onto the bay and then turned around and faced back towards the city in the distance. As you can see, this is again, they're relatively faded. This is what it looked like when I first took it. So much nicer. I'm actually quite disappointed that this one has now ended up looking this way several years later. It's a shame, but at the end of the day, that's what Polaroids do. They do fade over time. You know, it's not a perfect medium, and if it was a perfect medium, you know, probably we wouldn't have digital photography. So yeah, that's it. It's still nice. It's still a nice image. It's just a shame that it's not quite as dark and contrasty in particular areas, or quite so bright in particular areas that it used to be. But there we go. That's what happens. Okay, thanks very much for tuning into this episode. If you like this kind of thing, then obviously give me a like and give me a subscribe. Those buttons should be around about here right now. Should be a few videos as well floating around my head of other things that I've got going on the channel. As always, thank you for watching. Thank you for coming back if you are a returning viewer. If you're a first timer, go check out some other stuff on the channel. And until next time, bye bye.